In the midst of the uncertainties that permeate our daily lives, we often feel the weight of fear and the shadow of doubt. Do not be afraid. The divine has everything prepared is not only a striking title, but an invitation to transform anguish into faith and to rediscover the courage that lives within us. Imagine a moment when, in the face of challenges, you recognize that each obstacle carries a greater purpose, a subtle, meticulous plan crafted by the divine. This journey invites us to look beyond the visible and find, in introspection and self-knowledge, the answers that free us from fears. By allowing prayer to illuminate our path, we learn to transform pain into learning and uncertainty into opportunities for growth. On this path of faith, each dawn becomes an invitation to start again, to discover the strength that arises from the union between the human and the sacred. It is time to embrace transformation, surrender to inner guidance, and allow the divine to reveal the hidden meaning of each experience. Here, the community is strengthened by the exchange of experiences and the collective practice of hope, demonstrating that together we can transcend the limits of fear and build a legacy of faith and improvement. At dawn, the gentle awakening of the sun brings with it more than just the dawn of a new day. It symbolizes the beginning of a new perspective on life. Each ray of light seems to announce the arrival of a greater plan, capable of filling our uncertainties with the certainty that the divine is present in every moment. Thus, reflection and self-knowledge gain space, encouraging us to listen to the inner call that drives us beyond known limits. When we open our eyes to the day that begins, we feel the magic of a world in constant renewal. The silence that precedes the hustle and bustle of routine carries a powerful message, the possibility of new beginnings, where each new moment is an opportunity to rediscover faith and courage. It is in this peaceful environment where prayer becomes an intimate dialogue with the sacred, establishing a connection that strengthens the spirit and illuminates the path forward. Awakening is not only physical, but also spiritual and emotional. With dawn comes the opportunity to break the habits that imprison the soul and, at the same time, cultivate the courage to look inward. Every heartbeat resonates with the promise that by accepting the calling within, we are invited to a unique experience of transformation. The practice of introspection then becomes the tool to discover the secrets kept in our being, revealing the strength necessary to face daily challenges. As the day begins, the energy of dawn compels us to abandon the old and embark on a path of self-discovery. It is as if the universe conspires so that, breaking with equality, we become protagonists of our own transformation. Faith is strengthened by the certainty that each step taken with courage and prayer brings us closer to the divine. In this way, awakening becomes a sacred ritual that unites the human and the celestial in a single movement of renewal and hope. In the simplicity of that morning moment, we discover that the spiritual path does not require grand gestures, but rather the courage to be present and open our hearts to new possibilities. The soft glow of dawn reminds us that, even on the most challenging days, there is always an inner light capable of illuminating the way. This light comes from self-knowledge and the willingness to listen to the call of the soul, which manifests itself through prayer and silent dialogue with the divine. As we contemplate the landscape that opens with the dawn, we are invited to abandon fear and accept that each new day is an opportunity to reinvent ourselves. The strength of awakening lies in the union of feelings of gratitude, faith, and courage, which drive us to break with routine and seek greater meaning in each experience. Thus, the spiritual path begins with the conviction that by welcoming the divine, we transform our thoughts and attitudes, leaving room for a full and enlightened life. Silence at the beginning of the day presents us with a subtle invitation to break habits that no longer serve us. Every moment of this stillness is an opportunity to reconnect with our most authentic selves and discover the strength that lies in renewal. It is in this calm environment where the mind opens to the possibility of new experiences and meanings. When we contemplate the sunrise, we realize that routine can be transformed into a scenario of infinite possibilities. This moment of serenity challenges us to look inward, questioning the patterns that limit our vision and prevent us from evolving. Introspection, fueled by the silence of dawn, reveals paths that previously went unnoticed. Morning silence not only calms, but also inspires. It reminds us that to break routine, it is necessary to listen to our own soul and embrace change with courage. This natural pause is a space for reflection where every thought and emotion can be reevaluated, opening space to discover new purposes and redefine our paths. The stillness of dawn offers a unique opportunity to rethink the way we live each day. Freeing ourselves from habitual inertia, we make room for creativity and personal innovation. This atmosphere of renewal encourages us to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, integrating spirituality into daily practice and giving new meaning to our existence. When the silence of dawn becomes the backdrop to our thoughts, we are invited to reimagine our routine. Each new day brings with it the potential to rewrite our history, allowing the courage to change to become a habit. In this process, prayer and meditation emerge as powerful tools that connect us with the divine and guide us toward a more conscious and meaningful life. By accepting the call of silence, we discover that the break with the old does not have to be abrupt, but can occur gently and continuously. The invitation of the dawn teaches us that change comes through small gestures and perseverance in the search for a new meaning in life. In this way, each morning becomes a ritual of renewal, where silence becomes the link that unites the past with the future, propelling us toward a fuller and more inspired existence. The journey to understand one's own being is full of moments in which introspection becomes the mirror that reflects our essence. This process, based on sincere reflection and openness to self-knowledge, allows faith and courage to manifest authentically, guiding us towards inner transformation. In moments of silence, we are invited to look within and discover the nuances that make up our identity. Introspection is not just a break from routine, but a profound opportunity to recognize our qualities, limitations, and dreams. By opening this space for reflection, we take the first step towards a more conscious life aligned with our true self. The practice of self-knowledge is like cultivating an internal garden, where each thought and emotion are seeds that, well cared for, bloom into wisdom. It is in this environment of calm and reflection where faith manifests itself, prompting us to challenge paradigms and embrace new perspectives. Internal dialogue, reinforced by prayer, strengthens this connection with the sacred, revealing previously hidden paths. By dedicating ourselves to introspection, we discover that each moment of reflection is an invitation to review our values and beliefs. This daily practice not only illuminates the corners of our soul, but also enables us to face challenges with more clarity and courage. Self-awareness emerges as a light that dispels the shadows of fear, allowing authenticity to guide our choices. Self-knowledge deepens when we allow ourselves to question and challenge what has always been taken for granted. By recording our thoughts in a journal or meditating on our experiences, we open space for personal evolution. This process of self-exploration is an invitation to transform doubts into learning, strengthening our resilience and the ability to reinvent ourselves. The courage to face yourself head-on, without fear of your own corners, is an act of love and respect for yourself. When introspection is combined with prayer, we form a powerful bond with the divine, inspiring us to follow a path of continuous evolution. Each inner discovery is an achievement that celebrates the uniqueness of our journey and propels us to live more fully and consciously. Thus, the practice of introspection and self-knowledge is revealed not only as a method of reflection, but as a true tool for personal transformation. By embracing our emotions and experiences, we cultivate an intimate connection with the sacred and awaken the courage necessary to walk a path of constant renewal. This process turns every challenge into an opportunity for growth and reaffirms that true change begins from the inside out. The experience of the sacred is revealed in the small details of routine and in unexpected moments, where the divine presence manifests itself in a subtle but transformative way. This experience invites us to look at everyday life with new eyes, recognizing that the divine is present even in the simplest actions. As we walk through life, we often come across moments that seem to have a special energy. Whether in the gentle breeze of a morning or in the silence of a moment of contemplation, the divine manifests itself, reminding us that every gesture and every detail can be bridges to a deeper connection with the sacred. This understanding inspires us to live more consciously and gratefully. The spiritual experience goes beyond ceremonies or moments of formal prayer. It is revealed in everyday life. A close look at the wonders of nature, a shared smile, or the comfort of a hug demonstrate that the sacred is present in all aspects of life. Thus, each experience becomes an invitation to deepen faith and renew the spirit. By recognizing the presence of the divine in the details, we discover that transformation is not reserved for large events, but also occurs in small, everyday attitudes. This recognition invites us to cultivate a life of mindfulness, where every moment becomes an opportunity to feel connected to something greater. The practice of prayer, in this context, intensifies this experience, serving as a link between the human and the heavenly. The experience of the divine becomes even more intense when shared with the community. When we witness faith and love manifested in gestures of solidarity and empathy, we realize that each act of kindness reflects the presence of the sacred. This communion strengthens the belief that we are all interconnected by a greater force, which guides our steps and transforms our experiences. With each encounter with the divine, we are invited to transcend the ordinary and embrace the possibility of a meaningful life. The beauty of everyday details, the sound of rain, the color of sunset, The aroma of flowers is transformed into a silent language that communicates the presence of the sacred. These moments of revelation push us to live more authentically and recognize that the sacred lives everywhere. Finally, the encounter with the divine challenges us to open our hearts to continuous transformation. Every spiritual experience, no matter how discreet, serves as a reminder that life is a constant new beginning guided by a higher energy. By surrendering to this experience, we allow faith to illuminate our path, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary and revealing the beauty of an existence in tune with the divine. In the midst of daily doubts and challenges, faith stands as a lighthouse that guides our decisions and connects us with a higher purpose. Believing in a divine plan transcends logic, transforming every obstacle into an opportunity for growth and learning. Faith is the foundation that supports our path, even when uncertainties seem to dominate the scene. By trusting that there is a greater plan at work, we find a strength to face challenges with hope and determination. This conviction allows us to see beyond obstacles, recognizing that each experience is part of a web of meaning woven by the divine. Deep beliefs teach us to see the world with eyes of optimism, where every step, no matter how small it may seem, contributes to the construction of an enlightened destiny. This perception invites us to practice daily introspection, transforming doubts into valuable lessons and strengthening our ability to adapt. Prayer, in this context, becomes an essential tool to dialogue with the sacred and find clarity in the midst of chaos. When we embrace the idea that there's a greater purpose governing our lives, we realize that challenges become opportunities to overcome. This internal transformation is born from self-knowledge, where introspection allows us to identify our areas of improvement and celebrate our achievements. With renewed faith, each obstacle becomes an invitation to personal evolution, reinforcing the certainty that we are exactly where we should be. Living with the conviction that a divine plan guides us brings a comforting peace that illuminates the darkest moments. This certainty drives us to face adversity with courage, certain that the path has a meaning that goes beyond the immediacy of the difficulties. The constant practice of prayer reinforces this connection, allowing the light of the divine to penetrate all aspects of our existence. The importance of faith also manifests itself in the way it unites people around a common purpose. By sharing experiences and challenges, the community is strengthened, creating an environment where hope and improvement are shared. This union is essential so that together we can transform moments of uncertainty into firm steps toward a future full of meaning and renewal. Ultimately, trusting in a divine plan is embracing uncertainty with the certainty that each day is a new opportunity to evolve. Faith is revealed as a force that transcends human limitations, guiding us with wisdom and compassion. In this way, integrating self-knowledge, prayer, and the constant practice of introspection, we transform each challenge into an opportunity to reaffirm our belief and build a legacy of love and improvement. Overcoming fear is an essential step to transform your life. When we face our fears with determination, we make room for a new perspective that values every gesture of courage and the potential for personal transformation. Facing fear requires acknowledging its presence without allowing it to define our paths. By opening ourselves to this reality, we discover that every challenge is an opportunity to exercise courage and reaffirm our faith. This process of facing fear transforms fragility into strength and doubt into determination. Courage arises when we decide to act, even in the face of uncertainty. Every small step, taken with conviction and prayer, becomes an act of rebellion against the paralyzing grip of fear. By accepting the risks inherent in the unknown, we strengthen our ability to reinvent ourselves and take an active stance toward change. The practice of self-knowledge, combined with introspection, allows us to identify the roots of our fears and develop strategies to overcome them. By delving deeper into our feelings and vulnerabilities, we transform fear into a valuable teacher that guides us to seek the courage that already resides within us. Each act of bravery, no matter how small, creates a narrative of improvement that is reflected in our lives. Prayer and meditation become rituals that strengthen the spirit and prepare us to face challenges with serenity. This internal transformation is the basis for building a new perspective, where fear becomes energy for action. As we face obstacles with faith, we realize that true courage is not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to move forward even when it is present. Every victory, no matter how small, celebrates human resilience and reinforces the certainty that we are capable of transforming any situation into an enriching learning experience. Overcoming fears invites us to live more authentically and seek a life in which every challenge is seen as an opportunity to flourish. The union between faith, self-knowledge, and courage not only transforms fear into courage, but also drives us to create a trajectory marked by evolution and the achievement of a greater purpose. To dedicate a moment to prayer is to allow the soul to breathe and be renewed. By connecting with the divine, prayer transforms everyday life into a space for reflection and hope. This intimate dialogue invites us to open our hearts to the sacred, making each prayer a link that strengthens our faith and illuminates the path to personal transformation. In the silence of prayer, we find the opportunity to listen to the inner voice and recognize the presence of the divine in every detail. This practice becomes a refuge where doubts are dispelled and the certainty of a greater plan is reaffirmed. Thus, prayer not only renews faith, but also encourages us to face challenges with serenity and determination. Regularity in prayer establishes a spiritual routine that reinforces the connection with the sacred. By turning this moment into a daily ritual, we cultivate the inner peace and clarity necessary to face life with more confidence. Each word spoken becomes an act of obedience to the call of the soul, strengthening the conviction that we are traveling a path of continuous evolution. In addition to an individual act, prayer manifests itself as a bond that unites the community in a collective experience of faith. When shared, this practice intensifies the feeling of belonging and mutual support, creating an environment conducive to transformation and spiritual growth. It is in this space of communion where hope multiplies and the light of the divine becomes even more present. By integrating prayer into our routine, we learn that each prayer is a seed sown in the fertile soil of the Spirit. Over time, these seeds germinate into forms of courage, compassion, and renewed determination. Thus, the practice of prayer becomes a constant source of inspiration, which encourages us to live more authentically and transform each challenge into an opportunity to evolve. In the midst of Abraham's story, we find an inspiring example of faith obedience, and trust. It teaches us that true faith is manifested in the courage to follow an uncertain path, fully trusting in a divine plan that defies human logic. By surrendering to the call of the divine, Abraham demonstrated that it is possible to walk without apparent guarantees, transforming the unknown into a journey full of discoveries and learning. His career, marked by the courage to break with the familiar and embrace the unknown, reinforces the importance of trusting in the transformative power of faith. Every decision you make reveals the beauty of obedience based on perseverance and intimacy with the sacred. By choosing to walk a path that transcends the tangible, Abraham shows us that true trust in God is the foundation of a meaningful journey. His life teaches that obedience does not require the absence of fear, but rather the courage to move forward even in the midst of uncertainty. Each gesture of Abraham's dedication becomes a legacy of courage, encouraging us to cultivate self-knowledge, introspection, and prayer as tools to face our challenges. Living faith in community is, in turn, an experience that broadens and enriches our spiritual path. By living together and sharing experiences, we find support and inspiration to transform our challenges into collective victories. The exchange of experiences, sincere dialogue, and mutual support create an environment where hope is renewed with each encounter, strengthening ties and reaffirming the importance of walking together towards a better future. Each shared story, each collective prayer, and each moment of group introspection pushes us to recognize that together we are capable of building a legacy of improvement and faith. The union of hearts and the celebration of individual achievements transform the community into a true spiritual home, where love, hope, and resilience intertwine to illuminate the path of all. Life is a constant cycle of new beginnings, where each ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. By recognizing that ending cycles are also openings for new experiences, we embrace the possibility of transforming challenges into deep learning. Daily introspection allows us to identify the learning that each stage offers us, while faith strengthens us to move forward with confidence and determination. The greater purpose that guides our existence is reflected in the way we approach new beginnings. Each ending, seen in the light of transformation, becomes an invitation to evolve and redefine our paths. This renewing perspective inspires us to seek deeper self-knowledge, allowing accumulated experience to be transformed into wisdom shared with those around us. The continuous journey of growth is marked by a succession of cycles, where overcoming past challenges illuminates the path to new future beginnings. Prayer and meditation serve as instruments to align our intentions with the divine plan, reaffirming that each new chapter is an opportunity to rebuild and improve our personal and collective legacy. By integrating lived experiences, we build a legacy that goes beyond individual achievements, inspiring others to pursue a life filled with faith, courage, and transformation. Each cycle that is fulfilled propels us to a new stage full of possibilities, where the purpose never ends, but is renewed with each dawn. We conclude this journey with the conviction that true evolution occurs from the inside out. Each stage from awakening to new beginning reveals that, even in the face of uncertainty, the divine has everything prepared to lead us to a full and inspiring life. Through prayer, introspection, and community life, We transform challenges into opportunities for growth and build a legacy of love, wisdom, and improvement. If you felt inspired and moved by this message, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content that renews faith, courage, and purpose. May every new beginning be celebrated, and may the light of the divine always illuminate your path.